Hey there everybody, Mazarok here, and today, Prot Warrior Necrolord Rotation Helper video. This has been highly recommended to me to make and asked to make on my Discord, YouTube comments, my Twitch stream, because everybody wants to know, a lot of people want to know, how do you upkeep banner as long as you possibly can? So we're going to be breaking this down because tanks don't have necessarily a set rotation, right? You're playing a lot more reactive gameplay based upon what's happening to you and how you're using your abilities. So I want to go down and break down the rotation piece by piece, why you're doing certain things, why you're picking certain things, and when to use certain abilities and stuff like that to maximize your rage generation to be able to keep banner going as long as it is. Before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe. It goes such a long way to helping out the channel. I cannot believe how close we are to 3,200 subs when we just hit 3K, and like, wow, I'm flabbergasted. Thank you so much, everybody. If you do have any questions about Prot Warrior or any other tank spec, or really anything in the game, or just want to come hang out, there's a wonderful community Discord filled with amazing people that, you know, we're all there to help you out, and it's one of the best ways to reach me. You can also reach me on Twitch if you ever, you know, want to come hang out live, talk, have fun, see some keys being played, raiding, all that fun stuff. You can check me out on Twitch, and there is a Patreon as well if you wish to support me directly. So first things first, let's break down what banner is and how everything works. So the Unity Legendary for Necrolord will, banner will affect an additional ally, that's great, but every 10 rage you spend while it is active increases the duration of your banner by 0.5 seconds. So a 20 rage revenge will be 1 second, a 35 rage revenge based on the 30 will be 1.5 seconds, and a shield block will be 1.5 seconds duration extension as well, right? So now we have to look at what generates rage. Banner obviously generates rage as well, generates 4 rage per second, and that is where the strength lies, and all of the synergies kind of work with banner and why you want to upkeep it as much as possible. The more rage that you have, the more rage that you have to spend, the more rage you're spending, the higher you're healing, right? Because you're running Indomitable. So if we look at Indomitable right here, your maximum health is increased by 10%. Great. Every 10 rage you spend heals you for 1% of your maximum health. So this is a great talent. I love the talent. It's the best one in here, and you really never pick anything else, which is why they separated these. These two were actually a choice node, but you were literally never taking Never Surrender, which is kind of funny. But the longer you have banner, the more rage you have, the more rage you spend, the more healing you get, the more ignore pains you get. It's a nice flow of synergies that just all go so well together, and you almost never feel super rage starved. So we have to look at what are rage generators for Prot Warrior. You have Thunderclap. You have Shield Slam. Ravager is your go-to pick in pretty much all content. I have tried Into the Fray in raid single target because I thought the haste might benefit me more. Ravager benefited me more because every time it deals damage, it generates 10 rage, and you really want as much rage as possible. So you have Shield Slam, Thunderclap, Ravager, and obviously Banner. Now, with the Conduit, you should be running Unnerving Focus. Unnerving Focus makes Last Stand increase your rage generation by 66%. This is pretty huge, which makes Last Stand one of your best offensive cooldowns and no longer a defensive cooldown. If you're holding Last Stand, you're losing out on a ton of rage generation in banner windows, and that can honestly hurt. So you want to be using this to generate rage. Another way you can generate rage is with Booming Voice. I prefer Best Served Cold, but I'm also not struggling to keep banner up for 2 minutes as long as I'm playing okay. You know, we all have our little screw-ups, and sometimes banner drops early, but I'm not having a super big problem with banner without Booming Voice. What Booming Voice does is it changes your demo shout to generate 40 rage and increases damage you deal infected target, blah, blah, blah. More stuff. But it's all about the rage generation for this. The extra damage, very, very nice. But it's about the rage generation. So those are different ways that you can do rage with your base kit, but as well you're running reprisal. So with reprisal you have charge and intervene. Whenever you charge you gain 40 rage if I'm not mistaken, and whenever you intervene you gain another 20 rage. Lots of ways to generate rage, but not all of them are like very good into like fit very well into the rotation, where you have to find places to use them aside from charging into battle. Rule number 1 with Prot Warrior: never heroic leap into battle. Always charge. Always charge into battle. You get rage. You want that. Always. Plain and simple. You do have another way of generating rage as well. So the reason why you might be asking we're not taking bolster to reduce the cooldown of last stand by a minute is the synergies of anger management with your tier set. So we're going to go over the tier set a little bit just because there's some things to explain. Consuming 30 rage grants a stack of Seeing Red, which transforms at 8 stacks into Outburst, causing your next Shield Slam or Thunderclap to be 200% more effective and grant Ignore Pain. Avatar increases your damage dealt by an additional 10% and decreases the damage taken by another 10%. Avatar instantly grants Outburst. So you're immediately getting a bigger Ignore Pain with this one as well. And whenever you hit Avatar, you have a 30% DR up instead of 20% DR. Trust me, you feel it. It's really, really good and very strong, which is why you take Anger Management, because you want Avatar to be off cooldown as much, so then that way you can get more Outburst. Outburst means more rage generation because of the 2 set. Causing your next Shield Slam or Thunderclap to be 200% more effective. This isn't 200% more damage only, also 200% more effective, so it will increase the amount of slows. It will increase the amount of rage generation you get. It increases everything about this. So instead of Shield Slam generating 15 rage, 200% more effective, it generates 45 with a stack of Outburst. And you want to increase every single way that you have to generate rage. And unfortunately, Thunderclap doesn't generate enough rage. So if you have a stack of Outburst, which you should be tracking, you pretty much always want to Shield Slam and not Thunderclap. If you see the Outburst logo on your whatever it is that you have one, you want to try and prioritize Shield Slam over Thunderclap, and this is going to be a much bigger rage generation for you. Now there is a little caveat to this where if you don't have your Shield Slam's on cooldown, you're not getting a proc, you don't have enough rage for a revenge, and you're kind of sitting there not pressing buttons, and you know you're not going to be pressing buttons, hit Thunderclap, it's fine. It's more of a very suggested guideline than an absolute, you should never ever hit Thunderclap with an Outburst. You shouldn't, but you're going to from time to time. It's going to happen. What you want to do is minimize the amount of times that you're actually hitting Thunderclap with Outburst down to an absolute minimum. But if you have a choice between pressing a global that's going to do damage and help maintain threat and generate some rage versus not pressing any global for 2, 3, 4 seconds, depending on bad luck and Devastator procs and things like that, we all know which one to pick, right? We all know which one to pick. But that should be on your mind. Another thing that you can do in combat, which you should be doing a lot, is intervening. Now, I don't have anybody to intervene here. Actually, yeah, this is a Void Elf. Is intervene. Oh, target too close. Ah! He doesn't want He doesn't want to. So, what I will do in combat as well is when I charge and the melee come in, I will intervene and melee very, very frequently. I will have chosen my melee, whether it's a rogue, a Windwalker monk, whatever have you not. I'll pretty much always choose one at the beginning of the dungeon and just hyper focus that one. I have a mouse over macro in my charge built in. I'll intervene, get my rage, easy peasy. It's done. And as well, you can charge weave. So while you're in combat, you have to select your positionings, but you can charge weave out. And did you see as I was landing, I was immediately over there? While you're in heroic leap, your character's facing forward, but if you hold your right button down on your mouse, you'll have your camera. As long as you're doing this in heroic leap, you will instantly swap. Like you won't see your character do it, but it will happen, and then you charge right back in, gaining more rage. which keeps the fluidity of everything going. That's called charge weaving. I know not everybody likes it. Not everybody likes the reprisal gameplay with, you know, all the charge weaving, things like that. But it's very important to do that because you're going to just get more rage by mastering charge weaving. So jumping and immediately turning your camera around while you're in the air to go back in and then charge as you land. And really the mobs really don't displace that much when you get very quick about it, because I know like a Destro Lock is kind of not be happy if you know, take them out of their Rain of Fire or Wild Spirits or you know, for hunters or whatever have you not. You know, ground-based DPS effects really like things staying put, so you want to try and avoid a lot of displacement. So practice charge weaving as you can a little bit more. You can go to a dummy and practice it. But it generates a lot of rage because you get this is why double time is really, really good for this, by the way, is because you can just always have a charge paired with a heroic leap. You can go with Cracking Thunder. You can go with Bounding Stride. One thing I've noticed is people that take Cracking Thunder, by the way, they're doing this more because they don't want to charge weave ever. Bounding Stride is for people that like to charge weave. There's no bad option here. It's just pure playstyle preference. So I know I'm just bombarding you with information, but it's kind of how it has to work, right? Now, another thing to note as well is about your rotation. Revenge is on the global cooldown system. You hit Revenge, global cooldown. Shield Block and Ignore Pain are not. So what you can do, what we're going to do here, we're just going to build up the rage. We're just not going to take things nice and slow, is you can actually hit Revenge, Ignore Pain, and Shield Block all at the same time. Not a problem. You can hit them all at the same time. I did Revenge damage, I had my Shield Block going, and I had Ignore Pain. So one thing that you can do is on your Keybinds is I have Shield Block at 4 because that's where I'm comfortable pressing it. That's where I've always liked it. On my mouse scroll wheel, because I don't like screwing with my camera too much, I like having it preset as far back as possible, and I don't like it ever going anywhere, is I moved my mouse button somewhere a little bit less accessible, but still accessible enough if I need to change them around for them on the fly, I can do that. But on my mouse scroll wheel up is Ignore Pain, and on the side button, now I have an MMO mouse. You do not necessarily need an MMO mouse for this. Anyone with the 2 buttons on the side will work. Revenge is my middle button here. This is my spam button. I have my thumb just easily going, and I can just always do this while moving. I can, you know, it's literally, I always have something spammable, but this way 3 different fingers can press 3 different buttons at once. If you have Revenge, Ignore Pain, and Shield Block all on buttons, you're immediately getting your fingers off your strafe keys at all time to be able to hit all 3. Separate those buttons, and you're going to notice that you're going to be able to hit a lot more of them a lot faster, because Necrolord Prot Warrior is a very high action per minute class. It really, really is. So, I know I just went over a lot. The last little thing is try not to use Last Stand and Ravager together. So what I'll, like, you know, if you're bursting with both of them, it can be okay in single target scenarios, but in AoE, Ravager will absolutely generate more than enough rage on its own that you do not need Last Stand. So, like, if you want, you can pop Ravager down and on a big pack or big mob, big pull, or whatever have you not, and then use Last Stand as Ravager expires, because it only lasts for 9 seconds. 9 seconds. So after 9 seconds is up, you can hit Last Stand, and you're going to be able to generate more rage for another 60 seconds while everything's going. So those are the big tips, because like I said, Prot Warrior doesn't have a set rotation. Sometimes you're having to spam more Ignore Pains just to be able to live than you are using it on Revenge to be able to, you know, do damage. Sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes it's not a lot of incoming tank damage, and you're spending it on a lot more Revenges than you are Ignore Pains, because you're just always, your Ignore Pain isn't always, you know, going down as fast as you want it, and you have enough haste at that time being to be able to just crush through and those GCDs. But, you know, refreshing Ignore Pain, even if it's full to burn the rage, is more important to keep banner up than not playing at the most optimal rotation, because you always want to keep banner up. And if you live, you keep banner up for 2 minutes. Who cares if you're spamming a little bit of extra Ignore Pains? Is it something you always want to be doing? No. It should be keep shield block up 100% of the time through charge weaving, intervene, and obviously rage generation and the button. Keep 2 stacks of Ignore Pain up as the base rule. Cast Revenge whenever you can. It is your high priority button. And then try and keep with your 2 stacks of Ignore Pain. If you think you need more, keep it refreshed. If you need to burn it because you want to keep a banner going as far as possible, do it. Because you're going to notice that the longer you have banner up, the more survivable you are. And that is, like I said earlier, the synergies between the amount of rage you're burning, and Indomitable, and of course, the big Ignore Pains. Like, Indomitable and Ignore Pains literally account for about 55 to 60% of my healing in a dungeon combined. It is absolutely crazy. So that's what I have for you for Necrolord rotation. There's a reason why I didn't include this in the guide, and because it is there's so many different things about this that you have to keep that are all separate pieces that make the whole work. Thank you very much for listening. Have yourself a great day. And man, I'm looking forward to Dragonflight Prot Warrior, guys. I don't know about you, but I'm excited.